Hi, my dear friends. Now I am presenting in front of you practical manner export procedure under the customs in one sheet on the screen. I given numbering, first one, second one, third one, you have to follow. Then whatever explained to you now in a detailed manner is one able to view here. Is clearer? Let us see one by one referring to here. My dear sir, first and foremost, look here, exporter in India should prepare what are the documents? Export invoice, packing list, certificate towards quality of the goods, ECGC premium, coverage. What do you mean by ECGC premium? Is nothing but to cover the loss of sales realization. Export promotion capital export of goods. ECGC means Export Credit Guarantee Corporation. ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, where the premium also paid. Is clearer? To cover the loss of sales realization. Once this has been done, so then first and foremost, first point, look here, is the vessel at Chennai port, my dear. This master of the vessel or shipper company, as the case may be, should submit a request to Department of Customs Department for the want of entry outward for the vessel. Department granted, first step, department granted entry outwards to the vessel. This vessel now allowed to load the goods, entry outward granted. After that what happened? See here, referring to you here, manufacturer who manufactured finished goods wanted to export. Therefore, manufacturer come exporter in India who wanted to export the goods into that particular vessel, to the vessel already entry outward granted by Department of Customs. Before loading to the vessel, that particular manufacturer come exporter should submit point number 2, shipping bill in the office of Customs House. Sea Customs, if you want to export the goods through sea. So I mentioned here, exporter should submit shipping bill in the office of Customs. Department of Customs verifies what type of goods you want to export. Is it general goods? Is it restricted goods? Is it prohibited goods? Sir, general goods are wearing apparel, sir. So permission granted for saying what? Entry outward. So point number 3 comes here. Let export order granted. Let export order granted. Let export order. Entry outward granted to the vessel. For that vessel, you load the goods. Permission given by Department of Customs on the shipping bill, saying that let export. On the shipping bill is mentioned by saying that let export. Let export of what? Intended goods into that vessel which already obtained entry outwards from Department of Customs. Into that vessel only you have to load. You should not load into any other vessel other than the vessel you mentioned in the shipping bill. Is it clearer, my dear sir? Further, once the Department of Customs issued the let export order for your goods, then your goods allowed to load into the vehicle with the help of C&F agent, clearing and forwarding agent. Point number 4. What is the point number 4? Loading the goods into the vehicle with the help of clearing and forwarding agent to clear from the factory forward to inland container depot. At the inland container depot, there must be handling charges, loading, unloading, further loading into the vessel. So the goods has been loaded into the vessel on board. Look here, on board. Up to that expenditure, who incurred? Exporter in India incurred. Therefore, from importer point of view, it is free on board. FOB is a board. Free on board. Since the importer not incurred any expenditure for that till the point of loading the goods into the vessel, all expenditure incurred by the exporter, therefore we call it as FOB. Free on board. Is it clear, brothers? Now, point number 6. Once the goods load into the vessel, the master vessel should give the proof of the delivery of the goods. He issued a particular document called as bill of lading, point number 6. To whom? To manufacturer cum exporter whose goods has been loaded into the vessel. Is clear? Now the goods are available where? In the vessel, and master of the vessel should departure from Chennai port towards destination. Before departure, he should submit a document in the office of customs, which is point number 7, called as departure manifest. Departure manifest, a detailed document which containing shipping bill of exporters and description of the goods, quantity, detailed manner, whose goods has been loaded into the vessel and to whom they issue the bill of lading. And such a detailed document is called departure manifest or export manifest, has to submit by in charge of the vessel, in our given example, in the office of the customs before departure. Department of Customs verified. Oh, very good. Very good, by seems to be. All document what you have been shown in the departure manifest perfectly found correct. We are permitting you to departure from Indian port towards destination. Such a permission is known as let export order. Let export order granted to whom? Granted to the vessel. One let export order granted to the individual consignment and shipping bill. Now finally let export order granted to conveyance for export the goods. In that case, after obtaining let export order from the Department of Customs to the vessel, the master of the vessel is competent to move that vessel from Chennai port towards destination. Is clear, my dear sir? Once the vessel crosses the 12th nautical mile from the baseline from India, we call it as export. Export taken place. Is it clear, my dear sir? It is as simple as that export procedure. Is it clear? Now, I am going to start import procedure, because export taking place elsewhere. If export taking place elsewhere and import taking place in some other country. So assume a scenario, whatever I explained to you as an export procedure from the Indian perspective, being a Sea Limited in Chennai exported the goods, like that explained to you. Instead of export from India, I will bring to your notice now this entire export taking place outside India. Assume scenario, resulting that the import takes place in India. So now I am going to start what? Import procedure, assuming that this has been taken place outside India. Same sir, even tomorrow once you qualify being a chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, you may be deployed as a finance manager in another country. Internationally, export import in general takes place in the following lines. That's why these unique terminologies are need to be understood. In the case of export, what are the terminologies we came to know? We came to know export invoice. We came to know the what we can call as shipping as a particular packing list. Thereafter, certification we came to know from the government department. Thereafter, coverage of loss of sales relation. Thereafter, I too referred to you by discussing what? Entry outward granted to the conveyance. Thereafter, I refer shipping bill. Thereafter, let export order. Thereafter, bill of lading or airway bill, as the case may be. Thereafter, I too referred C&F agent concept. Thereafter, loading and unloading charges at the port or airport, as the case may be. Thereafter, I referred to you departure manifest or export manifest. Thereafter, I have to refer to you entry outward granted to the conveyance. These are all terminologies drawn from the international trade practice only. Therefore, it is highly useful wherever you are to deal with import or export. So assume this entire export taken place outside India and goods are coming to India in a vessel. Now referring to you, my dear sir, import procedure, where first and foremost the conveyance, take here vessel as a base, because 90% is our import or export routing through sea only, which is cheapest cost of the freight. So import procedure, vessel arrives the port in India and the master of the vessel should submit arrival manifest, if not import manifest, in the case by vehicle, import report. So here arrival manifest submitted in the office of customs, department of customs verified what type of goods you brought, okay fine, general goods only, permission granted to unload the goods on the docks is called as entry inwards granted to the conveyance, namely vessel here. Thereafter unloading of the goods on the docks takes place. Is clear? Bill of entry should submit by the importer. Importer should prepare the bill of entry. How the bill of entry will prepare the importer means by taking the information from exporter, namely export invoice, packing list, moreover important document, bill of lading of the exporter will get by the importer, either physical copy or soft copy as the case may be, then knocking the doors of the CBIC website where we have customs. In that portal there is a bill of entry soft copy. The moment you open, it open through online and fill the information. While filling the information of the bill of entry, you have to arrive the value of imported goods by following the self-assessment, namely customs valuation, determination of value of imported goods rules 2007 as amended up to Finance Act 2020. You have to arrive the value by taking the help of rule number 10, pre-shipment is add, post-shipment should not add. Namely, CF value in the foreign currency, CF value in Indian currency should be shown in the bill of entry. How the Indian currency CF value will come into picture? CF value of the foreign currency of imported goods multiply with CBIC exchange rate at the time of submission of my particular bill of entry. That you considered exchange rate and multiply and arrive the value of Indian rupees CF value. So bill of entry contains self-assessment value of CF value, foreign currency, CF value of Indian currency. And you to compute types of duties, what is applicable? Sir, basic custom duty applicable, social welfare charges is applicable, IGST applicable. Compute the duties and show in the bill of entry in Indian rupees. Submit that bill of entry in the office of the customs. Department will assess the value of imported goods. It may be first appraisal assessment or it may be second appraisal assessment as the case may be. Department once satisfied with your computation of the bill of entry, what you shown is perfectly correct, then the department will be returned back to you. Department of Customs will return back to you the bill of entry to pay the duty thereon. If you submit the white color bill of entry, white color bill of entry denote for what? Meant for home consumption. Look here on the screen, my dear sir. Bill of entry submit white color, then pay the duty on the same day, the day on which you return back the bill of entry. If not, you have to pay with the interest for the number of days delay minus public holidays at the rate of 15% per annum. Or you may submit the yellow color bill of entry being an importer to warehouse the goods. In that case, the duty can be deferred to future period. When you submit sub bill of entry, ex-bond bill of entry to clear the goods from the warehouse, that time only you pay the duty. Is it clear, my dear sir? Warehouse goods, how long can be kept without payment of duty means for a maximum period of 90 days. Beyond 90 days, if you kept the goods in the warehouse, from 91 day onwards, you have to pay interest at the rate of 15% per annum. Is clear, sir? But from the day one of warehouse, you have to pay warehouse charges. Warehouse charges will attract GST. It's a forward charge, not reverse charge. Is clear, my dear sir? So is the way in which the goods can be assessed to clear the from the customs. If I pay the duty, department will issue to me a order called as out of customs order. By showing that at the gate pass of the customs, the officer of customs verify your payment of duty and nature of the goods and will allow you to clear the goods and bring into India. He say that at the check post, chhod de re, check post opened, the goods can come to India. India is my home country. To consume in India is called as goods cleared for home consumption. India is my home country to consume in India. Such imported goods meant for home consumption, goods cleared for home consumption, no longer called as imported goods. You may say duty paid goods, but should not say imported goods. Imported goods means the goods are imported from country outside into India, but does not include goods cleared for home consumption. This definition we understood already. Is it clear, my dear sir? It is as simple as that. Import process completed, because this import process is quickly completed in our explanation, because major area of assessment by inverting the customs valuation determination of value of imported goods rules 2007 from types of duties elaborately discussed. Import of goods, separate chapter we have. We discussed elaborately. Since we elaborately discussed import of goods followed by types of duties, now it becomes damn easy to conclude import procedure in nutshell. Is it clear, my dear sir? This is what, my dear sir? Practical issues molded into theory to present in front of you as export-import procedure, which is applicable for your exam. Is clear, my dear sir? So, export-import procedure explanation is concluded at this stage. Thank you, my dear friend.